Welcome back, folks. Still here. My name's F. Joined here by DM Brandino.
Yeah, that's my name.
We're going to get into the third one. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you. Brandon, DM Brandon Nance here to my left. So we're going to get into Game 3 today, and tell us a little bit about Game 1 and Game 2.
So Game 1 was kind of a back-and-forth thing. Cloud9 with a pretty big throw with 2 Phoenixes down. Don't manage to close it out. TSM finding that one. Game 2 was a massacre. Omega Barracuda going off all game. Destruction. And speaking of Barracuda, let's take a look at the Hunters.
The Hunter's right here on your screen. Left-hand side, Barracuda, with all his funny capitalization.
Okay,
Snoopy,
what is with
nice
this today? GPM is always higher if the KDA is lower. It's happened every time today.
Well, you see?
I don't see. That's why I'm asking.
I mean, you're the one with the glasses, not me, so I don't know. Maybe I just see a little bit better. We're going to hide the graphic right now, but Hunter matchup did well. Barracuda versus Snoopy. You know, it's funny. You take a look at Snoopy. Snoopy isn't traditionally a game changer. I really didn't try for the pun that time. God. Snoopy really doesn't he's not the pivotal character on this team, but he never fails. He's never dropping the ball. You ever notice that? Snoopy is a very good role player for this team, and it's odd because the Hunter position, especially in Barracuda's case, is usually spotlighted. Well,
we are into Game 3. Winner of this wins on the split, which is very important. Team SoloMid versus Cloud9. Now, with this, Cloud9 has second ban. I assume they're going to ban Hades again because AO Devios.
Yeah, Hades was definitely a difficult thing to deal with. If you guys missed the first game, there you go. Devios brought Hades into the solo lane, and Cloud9 could not deal with it. The damage from Hades left Cloud9 just dangling around like a feather in the wind, or DM Brandon's hair, just not able to really stay in one spot. Second ban's coming out on the side of Team SoloMid. Cloud9, rather. They ban out Circuit.
Wow.
Interesting ban. Standard ban.
Bastet and Thor are still available, so which one you giving away, Cloud9? You have your choice.
That's very, very true. Team SoloMid going to think about things as well, or Cloud9's going to think about things as well. 1-1, so it's going into Game 3. This is a game that means all the chips.
Look at that. Sylvanas gets banned, forcing out the split. One team will get Bastet, one team will get Thor. I imagine that Gars is going to want Thor.
Gars is going to want Gars, or Thor.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But, again, giving Bastet to Andy, I mean, that's really strong as well. I mean, he did very well last game, but Gars is going to get his namesake here. Thor gets locked in. Yeah. Option to Cloud9. Now, I'm not expecting Bastet to be picked here. They could probably pick him in the third slot to make sure that they're going to be able to get something else that might not be stronger, but more important. Mages, most notably. Right. I mean, we have a lot on the board. Agni, Janus, but Athena, of course, is really important as well.
Yeah. Game changers right here. I mean, so Athena, Thor, these are characters that really change the game. You know, I said it once and I just can't get the phrase out of my head. It's like...
It's the worst.
It really is the worst. But
you are the worst.
Athena and Thor, I'm kind of the worst, are really pivotal characters. You take a look at Bastet, and yes, she's something to be afraid of. She does a lot. She's incredibly powerful, but she doesn't change the game the way an Athena taught.
Can you stop?
I really can't.
Can you actually stop?
Can you give me a different phrase?
Okay, so this should be Cupid, right? I mean, it's got to be Cupid. We don't want to see Xbalanque versus somebody again. I mean, look what happened last time. Barra laid waste. The counter matchup is available. I'm looking for them to take it. With that, they've already lost Athena, and Sylvanas is banned, which means they should probably pick up their support here before Geb gets banned as well. So I'm expecting Cupid and Geb.
Cupid is picked up. That said, taking a look, thinking it is Ionic. Ionic is a very Guardian-heavy player, so we are going to see the Geb.
Raise your spirit guns in chat.
If it was a different player, Brandon, talk to me. Well, don't talk to me. But Fenrir and Cupid have traditionally made a nice lane together. But as I said, Ionic definitely more of the Guardian player. So we're not going to see any of that, I don't want to say janky stuff, but we're not going to see any of that come out of Team SoloMid anytime soon. Cloud9 picks up Bakasura. Omega wants him again.
So with that, I don't think we're going to see a ban of Aphrodite because I don't think Devios can play Aphrodite because neither Devios or Omega really play mages. They are warrior-centric characters in a meta that kind of lends well to it. Uller going to... What?
Uller being banned out on Cloud9.
Is that an accident?
Brandon, really?
What's next to you? Is there a V character?
No, and I hate that I just thought about that for as many seconds as you made me think about it. But it's interesting. You're right. Omega doesn't.
Wait. Bastet didn't get picked. They just banned Bastet. What happened? What happened?
Like I said, they want to ban out the Bastet. They're going to pick up the monkey instead.
Okay, so Humbots gets locked in for the jungle. I would assume that there is a small dynamic to where they could swap it. Honestly, it's not to the point where like, oh, we need to change our whole game plan.
No.
Devios has options. Hercules still on the table. Oh, they're going to pick Osiris.
Osiris is a character that
is strong, and I don't care what anyone says.
Well, that's exactly where I'm going with it. Osiris is a character that has gotten a lot of flack coming into Season 2. With the change to Chin size, they've lowered the attack speed on Chin size. They've lowered the attack speed on Osiris as Poseidon gets picked.
But he didn't need those things to begin with.
Right. And a lot of people coming into this, both fans and avid viewers and educated analysts alike, have denounced Osiris. That said, we've seen, oh my goodness, a player in Europe play Osiris to very great lengths and win games because of it. And Devios, one of the previously premier Osiris players in Season 1, going to bring him back in Season 2. And this is Game 3. This is the game that matters. So there's not much experimentation in these games we see. You usually see tried and true picks. Poseidon, Cupid against Xbalanque, Thor first pick. There's no experimentation. So the Osiris in the solo lane being picked by Devios in Game 3, not only does it show me that Devios feels confident in it, but they're confident enough to bring it into a game that matters.
Team SoloMid has 4 comfort picks and a counter pick.
Yes.
That is scary nonsense. Bera has Xbalanque, which I'm sure he's incredibly versed in, but has to be one of his weaker gods in his pool. Despite the fact that we saw him just spread, there's no way he has as much experience as Apollo or Anhur or Artemis or one of those other gods we casted a million games for in Season 1.
Also, Barracuda doesn't particularly like Xbalanque, or at least he didn't back in Season 1 or before, when Barracuda and Zapman were in hi-rez studios for a show match joust, Xbalanque versus Xbalanque.
Oh, Zapblade wasted him.
And Barracuda, I remember saying, great, now I never have to play Xbalanque again. Well, Season 2 hit, my friend, and I can wave to you from Georgia because you're going to be playing a lot of Xbalanque. So, great throwback anecdote right there coming out. But so MLC Stealth on Kukulkan. That's perhaps Jeff on Athena, Omega on Baka, Barracuda on Shibi. These are all characters that I get. Anninster on a Batz is a little bit different than we're used to seeing Anninster. And MLC Stealth on Kukulkan.
Devios and Gars are not going to invade as Heavy Hammer, Osiris, and Thor?
They're going to play it safe, Brandon.
No, there's no safety to be had. They could guarantee a double there. Even if they get this speed buff, neither of them will be fast enough to escape. I mean, guaranteed. I mean, with how much slow Devios can apply, there was no escape potential whatsoever.
Never, ever invade. DM Brandon, 2015.
Yeah, that was it. Devios, for some reason, is tanking this, taking a lot of damage there. We're going to see Gars get to lane rather late with Devios comparatively to Omega and Andy, who get there very, very quickly thanks to the double hand.
Finding their way into the lane are all players. Buffs are down. Pretty standard start coming out from both sides of the map. And we're going to see an early rotation coming out of the solo lane by Anninster, this time on Batz. So he's going to find himself... He's going to cross the street here. He's not really looking for the kill on MLC Stealth. MLC Stealth sees him, knows he's there. As I said, he's not looking for a lot of aggression. He's just crossing the street.
Look at the experience difference. Anninster is going to be splitting a wave here for his second wave, where over on the right side, Gars is still splitting his second wave, but it's in the solo, meaning he's not going to have a great line to back camps. One of his camps will be stolen, and it looks like Gars is going to do the same thing. Devios, I love what he just did there. For those of you who might have missed it, he's throwing his sickle out to stack his passive up sooner because he has blue buff, and it's not going to cost him anything to do it.
Yeah, that sickle is so low. So... when Anninster went to get those back camps, beautiful rotation coming out from Boosh to share those camps with him. It seems dangerous, but 2v1 because you know the jungle is in the solo lane, just great map awareness.
Snoopy getting pushed out right now, but look at this over on the right side. Omega getting pushed down. Gars still hanging around now. Given the fact that Boosh has amazing push potential, he's not really losing too much. And since he did lose technically a small camp on the left side, he's not going to get that experience. Having him get this solo experience in gold is very important.
Kukulkan also a very proficient pusher with those tornadoes, so gonna have to watch out for that. Thor showing up just to grab some experience. And the boxing match is on in the right-hand lane. Omega stunned out just a little bit, but Divios now taking a lot of damage once those Butcher Blades are activated from Omega. 2 basic attack characters in that right-hand lane. It's gonna be a very slap-happy fight.
Teleport incoming. Divios will be buying teleport here. He must to be able to get back to the lane quickly enough. Otherwise, he will lose experience and gold. And yes, it looks like he will be doing it. There he goes. Mid lane still a 2v2 as the 4-man grouping continues. 18 seconds until we see, of course, the mid-camp spawn. And I'm expecting a pretty clean split left for red, right for blue.
So Omega's ultimate was forced out over on the right-hand side to avoid the stun coming out from the Judgment Tether, but we're going to be riding along with Annenster on this Hun Batz looking for a kill. Still, only level, well, he just hit level 5, so now he does have that Fear No Evil available to him, which is really Hun Batz's call to action. We saw Bastet get a kill at level 4, and Serket did some work earlier before the ultimate. Hun Batz is really a character, Brandon, that can't do anything before that Fear No Evil.
I am very surprised to see that Gars did not immediately rotate over to solo with Omega's ultimate down. That was a guaranteed kill for all the slow pressure that Divios had. Can maintain distance, wouldn't take damage from Butcher's Blades. They had slow potential, stun potential, but instead, nothing. Mid lane, first blood potential going down here. Yannick getting very low. Stone Shield super low as well, and it looks like Andy's going to pick it up. Bad placement from the Kraken. We'll be able to spell disaster right there, but Snoopy answers back immediately with Fields of Love burning down Xbalanque.
1-for-1 kill, though technically not in the same engagement. First blood goes the way of Team SoloMid. No Cloud9.
Yep.
Cloud9, because Snoopy answered over there in the duo lane. So first blood goes to Cloud9 on the side of Kukulkan.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know what he's going to be able to do with this. Now, granted, most characters will benefit amazingly from Doom Orb. In fact, every single mage could use Doom Orb to its maximum efficiency. Kukulkan, however, will favor Book of Thoth thanks to the double stacking of his passive. The extra mana will be very, very strong. He also actually gains some bonus damage and chooses the Magi as well.
Anything that gives him mana, really, will amplify his damage because of that passive that Brandon just mentioned. It takes about 2% of your mana. Rides it to power.
So, bottom right side, Gars rotating over. This is going to be a 3-man split as Yannick is strangely deciding to come over. 3-man split on the top side near the red as well. Hinla helping out with that one. He'll begin a rotation down. It looks like maybe warding up. Yes, indeed. The Gold Fury will be warded. Mid lane rotation again. A lot of grouping here from these two teams in mid this game.
Always see that early vision coming out from Jeff Hinla on the side of Cloud9 G2a, and you know, it hasn't been answered yet by Yannick. We take a look at the inventories for Team SoloMid, but first let's take a look at the fight.
Oh, Divios is going for it.
We're talking about, I talked about this earlier, Brandon. They're just going to box each other. You've got built-in physical protection coming out from Osiris that helps against everything but the Butcher Blades. And, well, on the side of Bakasura, you've got the Butcher Blades. So it's hit or miss because you also got a stun. So if Osiris gets the stun at the right time, it really is mechanically intense as to who wins this fight. I absolutely love it, and my eyes are glued to this solo lane.
So with that, they have 3 physical, and 2 of which are heavy auto attacker, meaning Soul Eater is a possibility here on Divios. On the other side, there are auto attackers, but generally speaking, Bakasura is not going to benefit as much because it's not very attack speed heavy. But 300 health is a massive amount of defense. It is actually one of the most cost-efficient items in the game currently, and with
criminally underpurchased.
Yeah, it's insane how strong the item is with 3 physical.
Taunt is going to get 1, and it's going to be Yannick into the tornado. Gars is up looking for a target. He'll land right there, right behind the Kraken. Ultimate from the Xbalanque is out, and Barracuda gets 1 for his troubles. Thor is surrounded by red. Where's he going to go? That dot is ticking. The stun is not good enough, but he doesn't need it. He's safe, but Poseidon is also in a little bit of trouble. Bakasura just turns around, doesn't want any more, but they do get 1 kill. Barracuda gets 1. He takes it to the bank. 2-1, Cloud9.
Divios doesn't manage to rotate quickly enough, and now will begin to fight multiple people here. Not sure what Andy's looking for. Omega's being pushed out. We're going to see Preemptive Strike activated, and nothing gains from either side. In fact, experience lost. Strange.
A little bit strange. 7 minutes in, 2-1 read these kills. These teams are evenly matched. I I'm so happy this came to, honestly, I'm just so happy this came to a Game 3. This is one of the more exciting matchups we've gotten to watch, and we're in the early stages. This is Saturday on week 2 of SPL. This is a 5-week split, so a lot of games to be had, and we're already seeing some exciting stuff coming out from Team SoloMid and Cloud9 g2a, two of the more storied teams, not just in esports, but in Smite specifically.
So over in the duo, there's actually a pretty even exchange right now in terms of stacks. Mid lane, once again, major grouping here, 6 people hanging around waiting for camps. And right side, the Slapfest continues, well, although Devios is choosing to back here. Omega going to be heading back as well. Or back to lane now, he already head back.
Rotation over to the left-hand side. Red team, Cloud9, is going to look at Gold Fury, but they're getting pinged out, so the vision is there for TSM. C9 being a little bit careful. They're coming into the mid lane. They see the Poseidon by himself, but he's not by himself anymore. He's joined by 3 members, but they're wearing the wrong jerseys. Cloud9 gets another kill. Poseidon, the Boosh, falls to the wayside, earning him his first death of the game.
Right side, once again, the slap fight continues. Omega eating, making sure that he's going to stay relevant, throwing down the jump as well. Mid lane, more damage coming through, but obviously not enough as Gars and Ionic will continue their pressure. Gold Fury still available.
Gold Fury is still up. At this moment, I don't think the teams are really looking at it. They're definitely thinking about it, but they're not looking at it just yet. What they are looking at, Cloud9, is invading the enemy jungle. They're going to go ahead and pick up this speed buff. Definitely give a hit to the jungler. Gar's going to have to work without his speed buff, and, well, Divio's going to have to work without that blue buff. Cloud9 steals the entire right-hand side of the jungle and does so without being punished by TSM.
Rather curious, major grouping here. 8 people on the side of right with the Gold Fury still available. Generally not something you see. Omega going to spot this out, and it doesn't look like they're going to have an opportunity to pick this one up. And Gar's going to forego the obvious blue steal and go deep 3-man Cataclysm, but Gars is stuck inside a tornado.
Beautiful teleport with that Mjolnir tournament coming out from the Thor. Will he be aggressive? It looks like he's going to play it safe. Uses the ult as a satellite to really see how hard his enemy is retreating. And Cloud9 fell back very hard on their heels. They use their willies to get out of there, no problem. TSM picks up a little bit of their jungle. So you take ours, we'll take yours. Really nothing lost, nothing gained for either team here with those invades.
With that, Omega has once again opted for a teleport hand on Bakasura. This time, however, doesn't have a major advantage going into this stage of the game, although he might be able to create one. Lord of the Afterlife going to spell the end of the regurgitate there, but Divio still doesn't have his teleport up, meaning he cannot back safely at this stage.
This is what we're seeing out of the solo lane, just routine trades of the ultimates. Speaking of ultimate, Fear No Evil down. Gonna miss the mark right there, so no follow-up coming out from the rest of Cloud9 g2a. Bakasura under tower, gonna get stunned out by the Osiris, but again, just really not much happening on that. Bakasura still chasing. We've seen this episode before. Omega has Bakasura while Divios runs around the tower. Is he gonna get the kill before the tower gets him? He'll heal up off of that minion. That's very important for him. He won't get the kill, Brandon, but he will force Osiris out of lane.
Divios will not be able to teleport, still has about 75 seconds and chooses not to finish it. Instead, looks like to start building into boots, which I'm sure we're going to see Bakasura do as well soon enough. Bakasura, though, only 686, has spent a lot of money into actives.
Yeah, Bakasura has spent a lot of money into actives, and, you know, he's not going to finish it, Brandon, because it's already on cooldown. Why spend 300 gold on an item that you can't use? Whereas if you pick up boots, you can use that item immediately. You're getting your, or Runeforge Hammer like you picked up, you can use that immediately.
Snoopy actually getting the worst of the trade here. Barracuda going for the trade.
Wow.
Oh, Fields of Luck going to be used, but no, the rotation was too big, and picking off Snoopy could mean a Gold Fury for Cloud9 as the 4-man rotation begins its descent onto 1,500 gold.
Yeah, there was no help or hope there for Snoopy. Completely surrounded, 2 from the front, 2 from the back, and now all 4 are going to go aggress onto the Gold Fury. Good taunt coming out from Jeff Hindla, just providing a little bit of spacing for his team. And speaking of his team, they will relinquish the Gold Fury to nobody in particular. They're going to leash it, and both teams will walk away. Really, no harm, no foul. Once again, taking a look at solo lane again. Solo laners sitting at about half HP. This is what we've seen pretty much the entire match.
1-4. Cloud9 at 12 minutes still has an advantage, and now with a 4-man grouping once again will turn their sights to the Gold Fury. Rotation over. Yannick will spot it. He blinks in. 3-man Kata, but Cloud9 still takes it, but the Kraken going to be big there. Can they find another? Jeff going to be low. It's going to be up to Divios. Ooh, Gar's missing it. Gar's missing again, but the double tap will finish it up.
Thor missed a couple of hits right there. Definitely red in the face, but gets the double tap, so no fool is Thor on Gars.
Oh, wow, Divios rushing real deep
hard,
here.
Looking like Omega. Will it be enough spacing, Brandon?
Wow, look at that. Bush cleaning it up. Great play by Gars, Divios, and Bush to find that one. Regurgitate not available just yet. Has about 2 more seconds. Actually, he might be able to get this one. No, Yannick makes the smarter choice and will back off.
Yeah, he's the smarter child here. Remember Smarter Child?
The T and Tamari's little brother guy?
No, that's Smart Guy. Smarter Child, the aimbot.
Oh, yeah. The old Siri.
Yes, the original Siri.
OG Siri.
Siri's older cousin. Smarter Child. Definitely a throwback right there to When Robots Attack.
With that, Cloud9 still maintains their lead, but just barely. The goal difference was normalized, and the experience difference was completely normalized. Actually,
we're all tied
was
up.
0. This is pretty much a tie. 1,000 gold right now for Cloud9, but that's not enough of a lead to call a victor just yet.
Not quite. And as is routine this game, we're going to see Omega invading onto Divios. They're going to take his blue buff one more time. Is that 2 or 3 steals of that blue buff?
I think that's the second.
All right, so Divios has gotten a single blue buff this entire game. As we approach the 14-minute mark, those buffs, of course, spawn every 3 minutes or so. So we're going to see those taken away by that Bakasura. Andy traversing the jungle, taking a look at a little bit of everybody. Here's a lane we haven't seen much of. The 2 hunters have been sitting very high. Bakasura versus Snoopy. Really just been a dead even stalemate. Barracuda on the side of Cloud9, 1-2-2 with Snoopy.
Bear is ahead,
1-1-0. Yeah, he's a little bit ahead, 14-14, but he's got 7,200 gold, so about 300 over the enemy.
Oh, here comes Andy. Fear no evil, not going to be very effective there as he's going to dive forward with the Sacred Monkey. Gars takes to the air. Cataclysm will hit no one, and the Regurgitate will begin. We'll see some damage coming out, but Omega takes the worst of that one. And there goes the Kraken. Omega's going down.
I love to see both of those mid lane ultimates come out and do their damage. And speaking of damage, Gars is going to lay waste into the Bakasura. Omega will have a timeout as well. His mid lane teammate will. MLC Stealth is going to sit down for about 30 seconds. 2 kills to 0. Team SoloMid comes out on top of that team fight, but they're going to aggress on a sickle throw and a Poseidon shove. And Jeff Hitler really can't engage.
Realistically, we should have seen TSM rush that down.
Yeah.
We have 1 player with no health and 2 other players with no mana, and they had 4 people ready to rock.
And it's still, traditionally, Brandon, I mentioned this during Picks and Bans, we usually see him on Assassin-y 1v1 characters, eh?
Right.
This time around, he picks the Batz, a team fight character, and I'm not going to say he's playing poorly. I mean, taking a look at his slash line, 1-1-3, definitely nothing to shake your head at. But 2 key moments we've seen Fear No Evil off the mark.
There shouldn't have. I mean, there should have been a Bastet in this game, and there wasn't. It was very curious to see. We started out with Hades Arachne, and they didn't pick up Bastet where they needed to be. They locked into Humbots, and honestly, I think I might have rather seen Mercury.
Hunbatz is definitely a good choice, and I like Hunbatz overall, but for Anderson specifically, I think I would have liked to see the Mercury. Again, I don't think he's playing poorly. I think he's one of the better all-around junglers in North America.
He's the best jungler, period.
But he definitely excels 1v1 assassin characters, so I personally would have loved to see the Mercury.
He's good at assassination. He's not good at team fights. It's always been that way. He's good at finding the person who's either scared or weak or out of position and killing them. He's not always been the best player in terms of, I will peel for you, and then I will peel for myself, and then I will let you get the kill. He's like, nope, kill for me.
No peel happening in the middle lane as the Kraken comes out. Boosh is going to hit one, and that's going to knock Geb into the air as well. Thor is going to come down from the air, and everything's flying. Gars gets a kill onto MLC Stealth. Damage coming out from Barracuda as well. Anderson giving chase. His Fear No Evil could be integral right
Bear's
here.
in trouble here. Snoopy rotates over, and there goes the Fields of Love. Not actually affecting anyone.
Nope.
Great movement coming out from Bear. Snoopy could be in a lot of trouble here. Throws some hearts down. We'll run into both. Andy here with the overhead smash. There's the Stone Shield. Does anyone have anything else for him? Where's the stuns? Not happening.
That Fear No Evil did exactly what it was supposed to do. Beautiful hit. Beautiful ultimate coming out from the jungler we were just talking about. Andy finally gets the ultimate on the mark, and it gets his team a kill and a tower. Middle lane goes down. 4 teams solo mid. So just 17 and a half minutes into this game. Cloud9 trails by 2 kills, but leads by just a little bit of gold.
Look at Big D,
Here comes
though.
the rest.
Look at this. Stopping the Gold Fury fight. He's fighting multiple people. I mean, he might not make it out of this, but he's done his job. There goes the knock-up, and it looks like Devios is going to escape because Gars rotates in and keeps everyone safe. Poseidon in the mid lane will get some experience.
Wow.
Cracking up in 12. Gold Fury up for contention.
Devios right there stopped the entire Gold Fury push by himself. Playing
Gars!
Osiris.
Gars doing a lot of work here. Can Barra find his way out? Double tap, not gonna hit, just barely. Barra dodges it. There goes the ult. It will hit, but so will the Kraken. Stealth is very low here. Gars, though, is going down.
Yeah, I needed one more basic attack, but not able to grab it. Turned around just too slow, and Gars goes ahead and falls. Good ultimate coming out from the Monkey. They're chasing Poseidon. He's fast, but that slow is better. Ultimate.
They got him.
There it is.
But here comes Big Devios trying again. Snoopy's there as well. And oh man, Omega not getting the damage off he was getting last game, that's for sure. Devios too tanky, and we'll keep it alive. 7-7, the gold, 2,000 in favor of Cloud9 with 1,000 experience on top.
So Judgment Tether. Judgment Tether is a 4-second delayed stun, as we see Gold Fury being pressed on by Cloud9. Devios and Snoopy are in the area. Can they make a play? It's about 50% HP, so 25 more need to be done before they can execute it with that Hand of the Gods. Spacing by Jeff Hindla. Good stun coming out from Devios. Flip over the wall. He won't do much, but he will be safe. Cloud9 gets the Gold Fury, and that'll push them even further in the lead. Almost 4,000 gold is in their favor. But so, Devios on this Judgment Tether, okay? It's a delayed stun by 4 seconds.
Right.
We see him executing these stuns in the nick of time like it's a button press. And you mentioned before how he was throwing out the sickle because of the blue buff and under. There's so much understanding on this character, Brandon, from Devios.
You know, and that's what Devios does so well.
So much.
He does great with characters that require a lot of nonsense, like Hades. How to position yourself to make them feared in the correct direction.
Right.
How to use the Blight correctly to make sure you're getting slows off death from below, or extra protections. I mean, it's that kind of stuff that really separates Devios from the pack. But right now, he's 0-0-3. It's not the best score in the world, but he's also been the deterrent to a lot of different objectives. Right side, though, pressure's coming out, and Gars looks like he's going in.
Thor is up, and Thor will land and stun Omega. Omega does have a jump. Stuck in the middle is Jeff Hindla. Omega trying to provide a little bit of resistance, and he does. Just by showing presence, Team SoloMid needs to be forced out just a little bit. And hi, Snoopy.
Yeah, Snoop's going to take mid camps on right. Bear's going to take mid camps on left. A rather strange
The old Hunter
push.
split.
Yeah, I mean, it's normal.
It's funny that Hunter rotation to grab mid camps, I mean, 20 minutes in, is rough. Hold that thought. Omega has nothing to hold that.
Speaking of hold that, Omega getting caught in a cripple, getting caught with a stun, and getting caught with some respawn timers. Sit down, son.
Getting caught with the hands right there is Omega's Bakasura. Going to go ahead and sit down for 40-plus seconds. Not going to be able to do anything. Again, Devios with the perfectly timed stun, but he doesn't catch MLC Stealth, so he's going to keep giving chase. Barracuda from the other side of the map. He comes in. There's the Kraken coming out from Boosh, and Barracuda is still chasing.
I can't understand how we haven't seen the Fields of Love, and that was a really awful placement right there.
Defensive.
It wasn't even defensive. The defensive measure would have been placing it about another 15 units higher to ensure they still had to run off the tower, but in a direction that they couldn't. Snoopy winds up putting himself in a bad position and can't really follow up. It's going to be up to Gars, and Gars recognizes his overall problem and will go for it.
Speeds come out from MLC Stealth, protecting him from dying. Gars dodges the ultimate after killing Barracuda. Just great positioning coming out from Gars, able to really pick up the kill while still being defensive enough.
Who would have guessed that Dagars would have the best kill to death ratio as Thor in this game? 4, 1, and 3 right now. He's third overall in damage, only behind Xbalanque, who's known for damage, and strangely, Devios putting up 13-5 on Osiris.
Devios knows his character in and out. We saw him in Season 1 as the mid tower goes down, really pulling out the, maximizing the in-hand damage from Chin's size, which we actually want to point out we don't see just yet. He's gone for the Ichabal in place of where Chin size would normally be, going for more of a defensive build here on Osiris. But we saw him, I mean, Devios, the small mechanics we talked about already, but we saw him earlier last season. Basic attack, sickle to reset the chain to allow more damage to come out from those Chin sides.
Right there, just did
it. That's it. Thank you, Devios, for showing us exactly what I'm trying to
He actually has
explain.
2. You can do it with both the sickle and with the tether. It's
Devios,
complete resets.
It's the little things.
Oh, Devios dives deep, forcing the regurgitate. Omega going to back off here. Omega, though, still getting the tower there. Might have an opportunity to help his team keep that lead with that 500 gold, but still experience difference. 600 in favor of TSM. Cloud9 has a 2,000 gold difference, so effectively at 22 minutes, we have an even game.
Barracuda pushing up the left-hand side, playing this Xbalanque. Taking a look at his slash line. 3s across the board, so he does have 15 additional physical power on his side without items because of that passive. So very good attention to making sure he gets a couple of kills as his team is sharing the wealth. He'll head back to lane.
23 minutes deep. Dagars waiting for the speed buff. Nothing else really happening. We're in a lull. Fire Giant, no team's going to have enough damage to burn it down without the other one being ready for it. All the buffs are pretty much taken. There's not much to gain here.
9 kills to 8 in 23 minutes. Very low kills considering we have so many comfort picks on the side of TSM. Ultimate coming out from the monkey, looking to change things up, trying to make things a little bit more exciting. Barracuda going to help as well, providing the darkness. Guards from the side. He comes down.
Boosh still has Kraken.
Boosh.
And it's going to come out right here. Watch this. There they go. Big shot there. Jeff Hinla takes a lot. And then finally, Snoopy shows up. Fields of Love going to be big there. Barracuda going down.
That's one of the first plays we've really seen Snoopy make on the side for his team. Despite his 3 kills, that really was one of the bigger changes as we watch this boxing match. And a shot from the side. Boosh gets the kill, and Snoopy picks up a second against the Bakasura.
Gars picks up Jeff Hinla in the jungle on the right. Really good trade there for TSM as Devios falls in trade for a higher level solo laner. Snoopy finding MLC stealth. That's Fire Giant.
All right. So Snoopy had amassed 3 kills. Snoopy had amassed 3 kills really quietly. Really didn't change anything with those 3 kills that he got. Then all of a sudden, a beautiful Fields of Love in the jungle turns that kill, gets 2 more, or gets another kill to bring it to 5, 2, and 0. And this time, his force was actually recognized. He turned that team fight.
So 2 things to note here. Andy does have his ultimate, and Jeff Hinla is alive with his as well. Barracuda respawns, but 17 seconds until he'll be relevant. And it looks like they're going to try to play this one out.
And they're going to teleport back. Love the play right there. There's the ultimate. Ooh.
It might be too late, though. Andy's going to come in. Fear No Evil is on cooldown. Oh, guys, they're getting hit by the Fire Giant, but it does get taken. Omega too little, too late, and has no immunity. Regurgitates on cooldown. He bought beads and not teleport. Goodbye. There's either an escape here or he's going to respawn. It's going to be up to what Ionic does.
Gars gets hit by 1 tick of the dash, but he's still here. Beautiful wall to stop Jeff Hinla. Boosh is also on that train, gets the kill, and Team SoloMid with their Fire Giant will aggress. High game.
Snoopy is actually just getting baited around the map while the rest of the team fights. Andy, Barra, Jeff all down. Omega completely crippled, and MLC Stealth by himself against 3. Right side, Gars forcing out the split push, and Ionic's ready to push this one right in.
Love it. Thor, not traditionally a split pusher, but he has the wave right there. Attention to the map. Knows that he can push it, goes right ahead. The rest of his team in the middle lane going to go ahead and push things up. You've got his support, and, well, you've got the rest of the team, Brandon. So, a lot of members here in the middle lane. Nothing Cloud9 can do. They're going to fall back. They are forced to protect their Phoenix one more time, but TSM is not done. You know what they call this? They call this a typewriter play. They go from right to mid to left. Ka-ching! I'll take all the towers, please.
And with that, they'll take the gold lead in spades. They were down 4,000, and then suddenly they're up by 5. This is a really big push here for TSM. A 9,000, almost 10,000 gold, or rather experience difference as well will spell disaster here for Cloud9. Bakasura, no immunity aside from 1.5 seconds from his ultimate, which is only used every 90 seconds. We have Magi's Blessing coming out, but a rather low level coming out from Andy. MLC Stealth must hit an ultimate or will face disaster himself. Jeff Hinla not really having too much aside from the fact that he could get back to lane very quickly. And then Barracuda, level 19, below the mark, doesn't have all his stacks up on his passive either, thanks to the counter matchup. TSM sitting pretty.
27 minutes in, you heard it, folks. TSM sitting pretty. Said by DM Brandon himself, 63,000 of 56,000 gold, 6,000 gold in the lead of TSM.
I can't believe they took all 3 tier 2 towers and the Gold Fury, and they still have a minute 45 in that Fire Giant.
Quick and efficient.
Talk about efficiency.
Yes, very, very efficient is Team SoloMid, leading in all categories right now, 16-9. This was a very tight, quiet game at one point, but something blew it all up. And honestly, you know what the powder keg to this entire thing was? Snoopy getting that double kill in the middle lane what seems so long ago. That double kill opened so many doors, and right now
Omega's choosing to split push.
Yes.
Against the Phoenix pressure. Oh, and that tornado was used too soon and in an awkward spot. Diving into the mid lane, Lord of the Afterlife going to be used there as Andy gets pushed away. Left side Phoenix will be started here as Jeff finally rotates back in. Beautiful shield. Snoopy not in too much trouble there. Did he dash out early enough? It looks like he did.
That heal from Cupid at level 20 is just so potent.
Heal from Cupid is 9 is so potent. But they get a Phoenix there. Fire Giant still available for 40.
40 seconds left on that Fire Giant. Left-hand Phoenix down. Mid Phoenix not going to be aggressed on. Looks like that's all she wrote for the Fire Giant buff. But as Brandon mentioned before, right, mid, left, tier 2 towers all taken out, as well as a Gold Fury and now a Phoenix. Efficiency at its core. They certainly got their money's worth. Eonic blinks in. He goes for the money, gets MLC Stealth in the back. No kill, but he can't fight. Snoopy in the front line, battling it out against Barracuda, but the rest of Team SoloMid is here to provide some sort of triage. Divios gets Barra, but Andy gets Snoopy. That's a 1-for-1 trade thus far.
But all the ultimates aside from Stealth have been used. Fire Giant still available. Nope. Let me take that back. It has just fallen off. Phoenix sitting pretty low. Tornado's going to be used there. Can they get inside and finish up this Phoenix? That's the answer right now. Left side, Omega and Gars going even here. Double tap, not going to find the kill. Mid lane Phoenix still standing. Devios trying to box out Stealth here, but he's stuck inside of a tornado. He does get the kill, but he will fall.
This fight's so much less about the Phoenix than it should have been. Team SoloMid looking at the players instead of the structure. Cloud9 with great defense or distraction, either way you want to cut the apple. It still comes out on top. Team SoloMid doesn't get that meat. Phoenix and Cloud9, great defensive set.
But the one thing that's going to change the dynamic here, Barra and Snoopa coming up at the same time, Stealth and Divios coming up at the same time, meaning the same pressure at the Fire Giant. If Divios didn't have a teleport, MLC's got to hoof it or wing it, I guess, all the way down there, whereas Divios is going to be like, hey guys, what up?
Hey guys, what up?
This is my house.
It's not his house, he's in the solo lane.
No, it's near his house.
Okay, it's sort of around the block.
Yeah.
It's like the bodega at the end of the block. All right, so Divios, very easy to get over there. Omega, still here, no problem. Again,
look at Gars.
So happy to watch him play with Bakasura.
Oh, my Lord. I didn't understand why he didn't immediately use the double tap. I guess it wanted to keep it safe, but again, Omega with no immunity gets caught. He's out of here, and there comes Big D, ready to jump down. Nothing to trouble them whatsoever. All eyes here on Captain Hinla as he's going to try to find a way in, but honestly, I think it's too little too late. Fire Giant, Team SoloMid.
Nothing Cloud9 can do about this Fire Giant. Team SoloMid will pick this up, no problem. And now everybody on their team's got a nice orange belt for them to go ahead and fight.
120 seconds, F-Dot. This game is over.
120 seconds?
120 seconds. They got to do it now. Omega with him down, and they have Fire Giant. This is the biggest power play they're going to get, and they're going to go for it.
Yeah, this is definitely a push, something Cloud9 wants to defend largely against. Good double taunt, but again, teammates not there to provide backup. Ultimate coming out from the Xbalanque. These are all just stall techniques, Brandon. Team SoloMid takes the mid Phoenix, and that one's going to go down. They're going to head to the right-hand side.
Double tap over the wall there. They'll turn their sights to the final objective on the map for them. Fields of Love will come down, and it will block out Andy and Stealth, forcing out another huge power play. Barra going down. Jeff Hinla in a lot of trouble here, but Stealth finally hits a big hit. Omega respawns, but is it enough? 3 members have fallen for 2. Snoopy and Andy going at it here. With Devio still alive, Heart Bomb will explode with enough love to take down another kill.
It's 3-on-1 right now. Can Omega clutch this one out? He's definitely not going to be able to defend the Phoenix, but can he defend the Titan? Boosh on the Mage, and the Hunter coming out by Snoopy. This is where you might want to go for the player, but, I mean, at the end of the day, there is no chance to survive.
Seconds.
Make your time. Yeah, you were off.
10 seconds.
Team SoloMid takes the game, and with that, they take the series. They're going to grab that. They grab the wins, and 2-1 is Cloud9.
And that's going to be a really big push for them in the spring split, taking out their biggest competition indeed. The name changers now Team SoloMid making their mark early with a huge win.
Yeah, we're going to see how the game all started off as we take a look at what got things popping. First Blood coming right here.
Maybe.
At some point. We're going to take a look, and here it is. So let's take a look at this replay from the first kill of the game. Mid-mage, Kukulkan, MLC Stealth, and he's just going to basically take out the support. Standard play there.
For that, the top 2 damage of the game, Gars putting up 26, but Boosh putting up 30, almost flat.
Wow.
I mean, really strong. Let's take a look at the North American standings here after our second day of this week. The spring split. Melior Morier leading 2-0, though they have played all their matches this week, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, Melior Morier have played all of their matches this week. So tomorrow we get to take a look at different teams. You'll have a European doubleheader, and we'll take a look at that. So Melior Morier are the only team with 2 wins sitting up on top. And, you know, frankly, Brandon, a lot of people were talking about Worlds teams, you know, the what-ifs and this, that, and the third. Melior Morier looks just as strong.
They're definitely in contention for 3rd, in contention for 1st. I mean, they are right now right behind their competition, and they can take it. We're going to take a look at the schedule for tomorrow, which will round out week 2. Again, a doubleheader this time for Europe.
Yeah, so we've got Fnatic playing twice. If you take a look at the dates, you got March 14th is Titan versus London Conspiracy. They played today, rather. Tomorrow will be March 15th. A little behind, folks. Sorry about that. So Fnatic starts things off playing against Trig, and then they do play against Titan, the other world team. So they've got Fnatic has the doubleheader tomorrow, and then Team SoloMid will play again against Denial Esports. So one more time, tomorrow, March 15th, we see Fnatic versus Trig Esports and Fnatic versus Titan. Doubleheader on the side of Europe, and TSM takes on Denial Esports. So TSM, they win today, and we'll see if they can win against Mace to the Face and friends for Denial.
All right, so that's going to do it for day 2 this week. We have, again, one more day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Stick around. We're going to show you some of the best highlights from the day, and we'll see you. Stick around.